meeting is being recorded.
Yes, welcome. Welcome to the third session of our training. And today the space is open for all your questions, what you gathered until now. Of course, there are always a space for questions. And it's more, it's about researching exactly like how does it go. I don't know, I did not know further. What are your proposals? What are your learnings also of the collective? It's not about me providing an answer. That's not how it works. It's about our collective intelligence coming together. And of course, I have also something to say. So you are the driver, not me driving. Your questions are driving. And before we start, again, I want to open a little logistics space. I guess the EHP dojos need to pass on besides the Friday one in the morning, which is somehow clear. So
who will replace me next Sunday from 8 to 10 a.m. set?
I will.
Thank you.
Who will replace me next Tuesday, 7 to 9 p.m. CET? I will. Okay.
who was that?
Sophia.
Sophia. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Okay, because I'm writing it. And there's the Friday one from Nicole, and there was another one, Monday morning. Does it? If it's not used, of course we can skip it. But if it's used, it would be cool to have it.
Gabriel, do you want to pass it?
Yes, I was checking the time. So last time it happened 10:30 a.m. on Monday. So who is willing to take the flame of this dojo?
Who would come there? Like, who wants to have the Monday space? Because it's the best space in the week for them.
What time is it again?
It's not working for us.
10.
10 in the morning.
It's not working. No.
Yeah.
Okay. But actually you can also decide to say, okay, I'm going to do on Monday evening. You know, I think it's still flexible. Why not? And try another thing when the Monday morning is not working. Okay. So we have 3 EHP dojos. If someone is saying, okay, these 3 options are not working for me, it's on your bench to create a 4th one. Okay, great. Because minimum 1 EHP per week I propose. Like better would be 2 or even 3, but 2 would be perfect. So that your liquid state is really supporting your process. Cool. So like I want to, like I said, I said goodbye to Wanda, and I could not do it directly because I cannot reach her with phone, but I sent her a message, and I feel sad and angry about that. She was just missing, and then I reached out. I was like, what is going on? And Eva was also supporting me in the background because she had contact in between. Thank you for updating me also on this side. And Katrin and me, we had a talk, and it was clear that's not working. 2 times without anything, she's out. So, okay. Great, and thank you for your thumbs up. I really appreciate the commitment of this group to say, I want to be in the space. And if not, like, yeah, our lives are happening, and it's a long journey of 10 weeks. So when something is happening, just, yeah, bring it into the space, talk with me, or announce it, not 5 minutes before. It's not about that, like, that you let your gremlin take over and just, yeah, put it 5 minutes before the beginning of the group in the session into the space, but say, yeah, early enough. Great. Anything else from anyone logistically?
Yes.
Okay.
So me and Eva, we are without Wanda, we don't have full 3-cell. So is there somebody who, is there some 4-cell of, or if there's somebody who don't have 3-cell?
We can talk about that because right now my 3-cell, I'm sharing the 3-cell with Sophia and Away. And upon our conversation yesterday, Sophia is not joining the 3-cell calls at the moment. So it makes my cell to be 2-cell. So we can see if we can collide our cells. How many people do you have, Carol?
It's me and Eva.
2.
Okay.
Oh, we are 2.
Okay, so you would be a 4-cell. And
We
then,
can
and okay. And
Okay, so will you ask Doi if he's on board on this, and then you can let me know, and I will do a 4-cell group, or you can do a 4-cell group if you have Eva, but you probably have her on a group, yeah?
Okay. Okay, sounds great.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Super.
I'll check in with Dawei to get his opinion on that, and then I'll confirm with you guys.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Great. Okay. Good. Super. Anything else? Does not sound like this. Logistics closed. So the space is open. What is your question? What is driving you as a space holder? And some of you had already the first session with your newbies. So what worked? What did not work? What was like, oh my gosh, what do I supposed to say or whatever? And it's also, it's 2 ways where we are looking into. It's like, okay, what are the possibilities to work with? And and one possibility could also be to find a doorway for an HP, but also for a proposal how to approach it, for an experiment. So there are different possibilities. It's not only about, okay, what you can do in the sense of in the process, but it's a wider range.
I have a question to the group. I'm at the very start of, I've been out for the lab and I was traveling before, so I did not get to find the client yet. And I'm wondering what worked best for you. What was your ways of finding your clients? And how did you label context of what is possibility coaching to find the clients?
Okay, so I would open 2 or 3 minutes for that, Jenya, and then because it's more, this space is really for you already researched in something and you want to have feedback and coaching, and it's about like to giving you the possibility. It's also about you finding out what is your way, you know. and you can ask anytime in the group, like we are connected. It's not about that. I don't want to block it, but it's somehow go yourself through this process. And I know you had this gap of ETB and lab, but just start, like start your own journey, and then you have your 3-cell, or soon probably a 4-cell even. So you have 3 other people asking for possibilities. And yeah, and the second part is probably, I don't know what you want to learn about. How did you, what do you want to know exactly? Like how to set context for possibility coaching. What exactly are you asking?
Yeah, I'm wondering, my question about setting the context of possibility coaching is, how do you transmit what we're offering to people who are not familiar with possibility management?
What would you say?
I would say that the closest that comes to possibility coaching would be what in the modern culture people know as life coaching, which is offering non-linear opportunities with any current challenge of a client.
Why would you need to have a comparison? This would be my like a question for you, that why would you need to have something to compare? And what about focusing on what you offer without comparing, and to find this path inside of you, that when as soon as you start to compare, it's like, I don't want to compare. I want to find what is it actually, and finding your words, and do this in your 3-cell, exactly this. And then you get feedback and coaching that you find your words, what we're going to do.
Thank you for the question. I find it for me personally, such a beautiful process to understand. It's something like very natural for me actually to do, and I have done it all my life, like talking with people in a way that creates possibilities for them also. And now being in this training is like, okay, it's a method. I'm learning this. I have to understand very well how it functions, and do I do it right or wrong? And then be like, no, it's not. Like, I can just be me, continue being me, and continue creating experiences. And then like, whoa, like this school thing just kicks in, and then I like again, no, it's not. So it's like such a good question. Thank you, Zhenya.
Yeah, thank you. I'm actually finding myself exactly there, but like, to be honest, I don't know what we're doing here. And more I go into this training, less clarity I have. And I'm kind of trying to relax in this fear of trying stuff that like, I really don't know what I'm doing here, you know? I'm trying to navigate through that. This is where I am really.
What a cool place to be.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
There is one thing that I want to share with you, Zhenya, was actually about to say, finding your own way is a great discovery. And I remember a feedback that you gave me, that one of my ability was to get into one-on-one person. So that's my kind of I don't know if it's a knack, or there is a website that is called Knacks that you can look for information there.
Next.
And also in which journey or which part of your life are you? For example, in my life, I've been marketing when I was in old permaculture game world, and I was advertising in a certain way, and I won't want to do that anymore. So for me, what's working best is one-on-one and getting intimacy with people on one-on-one, because otherwise I keep on going on with old thought word, and it's still a discovery for me. So yeah.
Thank you so much. Can you please repeat the name of a website you mentioned?
It's Nax.
I will bring it into a space.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Katrin, would you be more clear, more
I-
specific? Where do you put it?
I put it now into the chat.
Great. Thank you.
I have a proposal for you, Genia, a concrete proposal that once you come back to San Cristobal, we can make an intimacy coffee on the street in the Andador together and get some clients for that. Are you in?
That's the question.
Yes, I'm in.
Yes. Handshake. Selena, get a handshake. Yes. We saw it. We want to have reports. I want to have reports.
Yes.
Cool. Thank you.
Thank you, Selena, for asking. Are you in?
Thank you.
Yeah, Sophia knows my process. Thank you.
I have a question to the team. I realized in my first coaching lesson that I'm trying to navigate my client in a EHP session, or I did completion loop, or I did a listening space. And all three kinds of thing, I know that very well. And I explored that. I try to use things where I know that in the past. And I have the same as Jenya. I don't know what we're doing here. And then I was struggling. So, okay, what is possibility coaching? What is really coaching? And I tried to make it environmental. And I said, no, I skip it. I will bring it here in the room. So does anybody of you has same experience? And yeah, thank you. Then you can raise your hand. Great, thank you. And does anybody has a possibility for me or coaching how I can navigate it, or what? Yeah. Do you have something for me, team?
Before like we go in possibilities, like, do you want to share? So you said you made completion loops, and like how did the session end? Like what was, how did you pass?
I passed
Or ended, yeah.
Yeah, so I ended with the client said that she likes to have a second lesson, a second coaching session. And the session ended as, okay, she needs more anger. She needs more to speak more in clarity. And I recommended to her to make a little, anger work in the next session. So that was
Me too.
cool.
It's exactly the same.
So do you think you offered possibilities for her?
Yes.
What do you think is possibility coaching about?
I don't like to think about that. I like to go with my feelings, or what is coming right now from my not knowing. And it is to give hints the client where he is right now, where's his X on the map, and to show him on Metaebene,
Meter level.
meter level, where he is right now, if he is not possible to see. And
So
yeah.
why are you doing that?
Yeah, I'm doing that that my client gets more clarity, to more awareness.
So what is that?
What is awareness?
Now, when you show, like when your client finds out it's her or his X on the map, what is that? What is it opening up for?
A space for new decisions, a space for new navigating, a space to give him possibilities how he can also move from that X, instead of the way he is knowing that very well.
Okay. So again, the question, what do you think is possibility coaching about?
It's a body. It feels like a body shoulder on shoulder where I can navigate him or give him possibilities, or I was hooked.
Okay, so unhook yourself. Throw it. Who is falling off? Who went? Cannot say it. Katrin.
No.
Yeah.
Katrin.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it is a body. It's a body to walk shoulder and shoulder to give feedback and coaching.
Yeah. This is a huge part of it. This is a huge part of it. You actually, like with everything what you said, I would say this is part of possibility coaching. With every doorway, like if you don't, like, this is the first thing. It's like people need to go to get aware where they are. If they don't know where they are, they cannot go. And mainly in modern society, people are fooling themselves. They're pretending, they think they're somewhere else. They're having masks, they have their X somewhere, but not where they are. But you can see it. You can navigate them, that they have the understanding where they really are, because only in the here and now, and the small here and now, they have the access to possibilities. And this is possibility coaching. Like, of course, there are different varieties, but that's the start. And this is exactly what you did, especially in these newbie sessions. To be with a person, to fully be present, and to be with them. Completion loops, and finding the X on the map. And then, wow, look, this is the next door. We will work with your rage, with your anger. And then the next door, and then the next door, and then the next door. Sometimes it's a window, sometimes a bridge, whatever you paint.
I have a question for the different spaces, because you were mentioning about it's so easy to fall into listening, EHP, everything that you maybe already, or I maybe already have experienced. And I have this question for myself: when there suddenly this door opens for a possible EHP or a possible exercise for anger, whatever, how to consciously switch that space and yeah, if this is then for another session, or I guess I would just feel that. I guess yeah. I don't even know if it's how have you experienced this, like dealing with different spaces and different
You're asking the team?
Yes.
I understand that your question is how to deal with the spaces in the same meeting, the different spaces that can happen. Okay. Yeah.
Yes, I can say something to this, because my experience was I had a lot of I want to be with a person. I want that she will have something new in her past, and I put so many I think too much possibilities in the spaces, so I created too much spaces. And I couldn't rather go deeper in one space. So this happened with my space experiences.
I say use your fear and anger to be a guardian of a space, because I would notice that clients also seem to jump from one to another, and my observation is also the gremlin trying to just go through a lot of things and really get nothing. And as a space holder, as a facilitator, your job is kind of like to really perhaps use your fear to see if you really need to open a new doorway, or if you need to bring the client back to the space that you were in.
Thank you.
And
I realize now that me as a coach are not trusting the first feeling for the space, the first proposal. So it comes emotional fear about, oh, maybe this is not really work, so I will give more spaces to create. And I realize now that is my emotional fear of not trusting the first insight. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, and sometimes like it's there's an kind of an exercise or a tool which we call the third impulse. It's like the first impulse probably will come from our box. It's like, this is linear, this is the logical next step, and sometimes this is appropriate. And then there is a second impulse, and it already points a bit more in the direction of nonlinearity. And then there is a third impulse, which comes after we let the first and the second pass. And then to go with this third impulse is very often if you have no idea and say, okay, I don't know. It's like, the space is open, then sometimes it's also a practice to just let the first and the second go, like the first and like you can start doing this, like you're having also in this meeting, like observe yourself. There's a first impulse, maybe you want to say something, and then if you let this pass, what else comes up and what else comes up. And I'm working with streams. They are coming down in different streams. Others have like what is it, columns or plates, or like 3 portals or whatever where they are coming on to, and practice this, like practice that you are not following the first one, and then check it out. There is nothing right or wrong, but as it's a bit this suspending. So if we are suspending the impulse, the next impulse can come when we are not following just the first one, which might be also an emotion. What you said, Alexandra, it might be, right? And then and I would say what I see, sometimes something is knocking 3 times on my door. It's like, okay, I need to say this. And then I even say this to the client, look, 3 times it rings. I need to tell you that. And it's like, okay, why? Because I can, there's nothing wrong or right. And it's a muscle to train. And I'm checking if there's Clinton was talking about it, and I'm pretty sure when Clinton is talking about such things, and probably there's also already a homepage. So I'm gonna research, and when I find it, then I'm gonna pass it to you. But I don't know. Yeah. And another thing is like what I see is what is on the surface, because when you are trained and you are good in scanning, and this is what we are training ourselves, right? Like as coaches, that we are our scanner is also able to see different layers which are ahead of time. It's like, okay, this is a possibility, or this will probably the next layer or the over next layer. And to learn to distinguish that. What is really on the surface? What is on the surface which can be it's like harvested as easy as possible? What is already there to organically put off from the soup, like the foam on the soup is like it's already swimming, and you just get the foam off and get it out, like the protein or whatever. And this is how I'm working. It's like what is on the surface wants to be transformed. It's not about me digging and trying to get something out of the person which is not ready. It's like I can take my hammer and like why? It's energy loss. It's like something is on the surface. Something is always on the surface. Why not working with what is on the surface? It is so, and sometimes it's so obvious that it's like you can oversee it. That this is the next thing. And sometimes it's a practice, and you need to practice with them in the session. But sometimes it's before you even can start the practice, you do an EHP with them. Yeah, EHPs are definitely part of possibility coaching. So it's not it's not separate. It's a part, and it's yeah. This is what I have for now. Anything else for this question? What Selina brought?
Do you usually announce it when you start? Now I sense we're going into an EHP, or it just happens.
What do you think?
I think with clients with whom you have worked for a longer time, it just happens. And if it's the first time, maybe you explain something.
But yes, yes, of course. It's like this, wow, like how if you would be in a session and someone would only start doing something with you in the context of radical responsibility, would that work together? I would say no. Like I would have a no for that. Like I want, so always, yeah, I'm always giving like, okay, this is my proposal. I think let's do an EHP, or like let's dive into the process, and afterwards let's have a conversation. Or we see where we are, but this is the next door. So I'm, as soon as because it's mainly it's this interplay. We get clarity together. It's not me getting clarity, but of course, maybe I have different words. I probably see the door more clearly, but it's not me putting, this is what we're going to do. It's like, this is the proposal, and person can still say, no, it's not so often happening because they are coming for a session. But yeah, I'm proposing, and they can say yes or no. Because you would have a resistance in this space already. And if this happens, okay, you work with the resistance, but that's not really what you want. As a coach, you want to have like how can you take ownership and responsibility for clarity in this space? Yeah. And you're not doing something with your clients without consent.
It's so beautiful to understand and see more and more that this way of coaching is not from an offer.
What do you want to say in German?
Authority.
Autoritäre Haltung.
Authoritarian perspective.
Authoritarian position, like out of, I know how it works, and I lead you there, and like taking the center from the other. But like really just be in a conversation and be like, look, I have this impulse. Do you have resonance with it? Let's go there. And yeah, I see like how it, as I described it in the beginning, how this constantly wants to get in, like, because I am in this position of offering a coaching, and this client comes to me, I should naturally be in an authoritarian position, but I am not.
Mm-hmm.
And this is like, wow, super beautiful.
Yeah, that's something I learned from my first coaching session, and I discovered that the person I was doing the coaching was actually a Reiki master, so he had a lot of knowledge into many possibilities of dealing with emotions. So this was definitely not the place to go with EHP with him, and it was very confronting because it was very energetic and reading all the signs and getting already the impulse. And I say, wow, what am I gonna do with him? Mm-hmm. And the only thing that I did is following the signs and the picture or the images that were coming to my mind and sharing with him. And he was saying, oh, wow, I got the same intuition. And he shared the day after that he had a lot of emotional states. So actually the emotion didn't happen during the session, but happened after. So that's one of my discovery of, yeah, getting my first coaching. It was very freaking. One part of me was very freaking because what am I doing here? But yeah, after that I say, okay, you got emotion, but or feeling and after.
Cool. And how did you do that? Like, what are you doing when you see the? Because I know you're working with a lot with pictures or metaphors, or like, yeah, pictures. How do you do? What are you offering, or what did you offer?
I'm not sure how to answer what is an offer in this case, or because it started in my case, it started more like a conversation, like, yeah, I offer you a session and then we can do an exchange. And so that was the proposal. And we started to talk, and he told me his story and where he's at the moment. For example, he's writing a book and he cannot write it. And it started with this thing. And I guess it just came naturally in the space that he shared to me his intuition, and where he was sensing some blocks or yeah. And then I shared my picture, because I had picture coming into my system. And I guess for me, what it's coming to me is that when someone is aware or has its energetic body really connected or open, then also the picture and the images are flowing more easily to me. So maybe it's a relation. That's how it's a relation. With some people, I don't have any picture or images or whatever, as if the flow was open or the connection was there.
Yeah, because why I'm asking is I'm using pictures a lot also. Like, I get images and then then I'm using the image as a bridge to land distinctions.
Yeah.
So this could be a practice for you, especially. I already was with you many times in this space, so I know, like, you're working with images as well. So use this as a bridge to land distinctions, because this is also what it's about. Possibility coaching is also landing distinctions so that the person can get its index on the map where they are. Because through the distinction, you open the next door. You open the next portal of, it's not understanding, but like experience on different levels.
And what do you mean by working with images or pictures?
Gabriel, do you have a picture from this guy? What came in a short?
Yeah, one of my energetic. When I see water in my system, in my distinction, my own distinction, water is fear. So when I see water, I know that it's fear, and I start with that, and I start with sharing. Oh, I see water and I sense fear, for example. That's what I share. But for me, the picture of water is fear. So it's very clear to me that's what it works for me. It's my, And if I see a bird or whatever, I would say, does this bird evoke you something? Like, because maybe this bird is black, and there is a sensation with it. So I will talk in a certain way with him about this black bird that I see. And sometimes I don't know what it means, and I share it.
Okay. So just for the clarity, when you work with a client, or when you are in a session, you in some way energetically see the picture of something, and from this you get information.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like to get, I don't know, people say it's the third eye and you get a picture. I don't know if this is the third eye, but I also, who has this too? It's like when someone is speaking that you get an image about, I don't know, for example, like water or a spiral or a wall or and use this. This is amazing information, and it's scary, of course. It's like to speak it out, but then you can say, okay, I don't know what, because I think the scary part for me was that I thought when I say it, that's the truth, and it's bullshit. It's just like, this is the picture I receive, and it's an offering. Like, I offer this to you, and does it, like what you said, Gabriel, does it resonate with you? And that's it. It's not set in stone and like, this is the truth, and then the wall will define you forever. So bring it out and be playful. It's like, hey, wow, I get just this image. I need to share it with you. What does it do with you? I think it's important. You can think everything is important. So, yeah. The only what I would be aware, what a lot of people have is child ego state contamination. So when you realize that the client is always giving your center to you and tries to give your center, her or his center to you, I would make as less as proposals as possible. So then the question would be, what do you want? What is the next step? Even in a process, I would ask, what is the next step? Or what question may I ask you? So that there's like, woof, like, what? Like, you need to tell me. You need to tell me. You're the coach. I'm like, I'm not playing this game. So what do you want? Right? And so this is what, but this is not for always. Just try it out and see if it works. Yeah. Cool. So
I now realize that this is what happened during one of the spaces I held this week. She had a strong child ego state contamination and was constantly like making things bigger than they were, getting into this overwhelm, trying to make me propose what she should do with her life, basically. And she had enough matrix to get this distinction of the parts, and the whole space was really messy. I was okay with it being messy, and in the end there was this fear of, okay, did she get enough, or is it okay for her to be in this messy state? Not in terms of feeling, but more in terms of me as a space holder. Can I let this happen? Like, is this okay?
Because
can she handle it? When there's no clear new decision or no clear outcome out of this space. When I first look at it, when I now look at it, yes, it was very like there were things happening that probably like there was clarity.
What means when you say that she cannot handle it?
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean by that?
Yeah, I feel scared that she will. It's an EHP, it's on my list already. And yeah, that she will get mad, and when she cannot handle it, when she's not understanding it, she has this thing about she really wants to understand, that then she will get mad at me that I did not hold it, was not able to hold a clear space for her, and she would like turn on me and attack me, or yeah.
So before, like, I want to go one step back. Where do you put her if you let her, or like let the space to happen and have the fear that she cannot handle it?
I don't get it. Can you say it in different words?
So who are you on the trauma triangle if you let the space happen and you are having the fear that she could not handle it, or she cannot handle it, or probably cannot handle it? Who are you then? And who is she?
I am not yet in the rescuer position. I am close to a rescuer position. I have this fear of the rescuer, but I did not do anything to rescue her yet.
Mm-hmm. Where is she? Where is she?
The victim.
Yeah. And and so who are you then before you start rescuing? It's very subtle, but it's there.
I see where you want to go, and I cannot see it.
Okay.
It sounds like I was in a persecutor or rescuer mode by letting the space being messy.
Yeah, it has a how do you say, taste. It has a taste because it's like, what did hold you back? And I see, and you also said there's an emotion, and probably the emotion was the driving source of not cleaning or clearing it up. But that would be the next question. Like, how did you finish? How did you finish the space? What did you say? Like, how did you leave the space together?
I gave her possibilities about when this overwhelming state comes, and we practice it together in the last 20 minutes. And I was clear about this was a messy space, and one of the experiments for the next time can be to be with that mess and not try to understand it. That's what I said. And the fear was still in me. Like, yeah. I did not that's what I did.
Yeah, and I think it's appropriate to have the fear, right? And I think I totally, like, I would say, wow, it's cool. What you proposed, for me, it works. The only thing what I would maybe add is, like, if it gets messy and you, like, I'm available, like, reach out.
I did that too. And we also have a women's group where she's in, and I encouraged her to use it.
Cool. Great. So you have an EHP ahead, I would say. Yeah. Yeah.
And I think why I'm bringing this up is also this question of because I notice it, that some of the spaces I hold are very clear and powerful, and they have this, even though in the beginning I don't see a path, it unfolds and I can just be with that. And some of them, every once in a while, are so messy that I don't even get what was happening. And they don't have a clear, like, I don't see any clear path in them. And yeah. Is that normal? I think that's the question. And I can answer.
Who do you ask? Who do you ask?
I get a sense of aliveness from what you said, Sophia.
Yeah.
I didn't hear
like there's
that,
some
Carol.
aliveness in this.
What did you say?
I said that from what you say, and this fear of because of fear of this messiness, I get a sense of aliveness. I don't know how was your space, but it seems that it was very alive in this messiness.
And for me, there's also a question coming up to what you said, Sophia, about this. I had this fear that she could become mad about her own mess or about you. And the question what came to me is, whose problem is that? Is it yours? It sounds that you catch this problem and it is not yours. It's her problem.
Yeah, Nico, one hint. If you ask a question, wait until the person answers.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I think this is the school habit or something. I don't know. Like, maybe check this out. That answering your own question, like pointing a question and then just answering without waiting. Cool. Thank you. Anything else?
I would love to hear something from the people who haven't spoken yet, like Eva, Wojciech, Daphne. Katrin.
Yes, I will go. and still I have a fear to share it, and I have some like a sensation about this what you, Sophia, said, and it's like, and the sensation is because I will describe from myself. I see sometimes that if I'm holding space, then I go, it's too much me. I also like use my anger to really have this clear and navigation to go somewhere, or to that something will happen. And at the same time, like during this call, like I get this possibility to wait for the next thing, or for the third thing that will come to me, and I get it as a possibility to really more not putting myself to the space, but really be with what is about to happen, and not bring too much from the client also, and maybe also take the first layer that it's about to that the client is about to handle it as a newbie. So for me, this too much mess could be also because, like in my case, it could be because I am too much in this space, and it's too much for the client. And yes, and things are happening. And at the same time, it's I have this question.
Wojciech, before you ask the question, would you describe, what do you think, or like how do you sense that you're too much in the space? Say a bit more about that. I have a guess, but yeah. I don't want to guess.
Yes, it's like I'm running this space. I have the sensation I'm running this space. This is me navigating client, and it's not about I'm hearing the client. And it's about also this, what was already said, that what's the difference between spaces. And for me, this I'm too much, and then I don't see this subtles, like I don't sense this, that space is about to shift. And for example, the example in like with myself is like I'm navigating something, and there is a space to hear, to hear the client, and I will just hear something and then navigate more, or something like this. And this is what I think about myself. It's too much. Like I'm not really am with the client. I'm putting a lot of energy to really like there's something will happen in this space, or like some shift will happen, or some possibility will come to the client. This is how I see I'm too much.
Thank you. And you wanted to place a question, or is this?
Yeah, it's not a question. It's about like to share the possibility, to share the possibility I see for myself. Like really to hear, to wait, like not follow only the first impulse. Yeah, and this I want to like explore on the sessions, not follow the first impulse.
There is something that I sense from you, Wojciech, is there is a big fear in what you share. Can you sense it?
Yeah, I'm feeling fear now. Yeah.
Because?
It's like I'm touched about it, what I'm sharing. Yeah, the fear is that
Wojciech,
yes.
And this is also a distinction for everyone. It's like when someone starts the sentence, the fear, the sadness, the anger is. Like they're putting kind of the responsibility of the emotional body still there. It's not that they're owning it. It's already, it's so visible and hearable in the voice, like in the what they are saying. So if the person is doing that, the center is somehow out there, a part of the center. It's not with their center so that they can feel, but they're putting it out there. Over there is anger, and there is fear, and there is sadness. So the invitation is to say, okay, start the sentence with, I feel fear because then the person is really feeling the fear. The Wojciech.
Yeah, thank you. I feel fear that I put myself in position that like authority.
What would be so bad about that?
So bad.
Or what would happen then?
I don't hear the client, like what is important for the client. I just put to the space what is important, what I have idea. What is my idea for this client to unfold. Yeah, and the bad thing is like I'm like the connection. My connection with the client is not like a really heart to heart. I'm missing this connection when I'm putting myself to authority or something.
And then what is happening then? If you are an authority figure for the person, what's then?
Yeah, it's like I'm going to the position. I want to rescue this client. I want to rescue clients, and it's like I'm not having center on myself. I'm not like a it's I see like many possibilities can happen, because like if from when I'm an authority, then I don't have my center in myself, and then
you have the center of your client. That's the other way around. I would suspect.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Can it be that? Can it be in the direction the fear and authority has to do with abuse of power, and later on maybe the person will fight against this authority figure, and this makes you fear in some level, in some point of view?
It's more it's more for me. It's more when I want to get the center of my client because I want to rescue him. It's more this direction.
Yeah, and the thing is that there is a fear. There's a fear. What Gabriel is saying, like there is a fear as a driver, and this is the EHP. And I wanted to to open the door into that direction, and you're already going. So this would be the EHP. Why would you take so much space? And you're already describing from another perspective as an adult. It's like, yes, but I don't want that, and I wanna hear and wait. This is your adult speaking, right? But still something else is operating when you're holding space. And you said you want to do an EHP, so this is exactly the entrance point, like where you went, like what is the driving force of you staying as as an authority figure? Why you need to stay in control, actually, right? Why you would need to get the center of your client? That would be like the next doorway, so that next time you are really like, it's not just an idea of I need to hear and I need to wait and I need to listen, you know, then it's an idea. It's an idea of you thinking, this is the right way to do it. So looking at the levels or like the layers of how you are controlling the space is exactly like one layer after the other of uncovering your adult self, so that you can go out of your own way, like put your box on the side and all the mechanisms, and then something else is actually doing its work. But at the moment, it's like it's that your box is operating, or you can also say your gremlin is taking over, right? And when you're doing the EHP, you're pulling the rug out of the defense mechanism, which is being in control. Do you get that?
Yeah,
cool.
And I already feel it's like it's just happening after some time, and I will do EHP and share it what I found.
Super. And there might be more layers. I think every one of us is like, this is the peeling the onion. Where do we think we know better? Where do we think we have a solution? Where do we think we have, like Mariola, before you said something, the lesson is like, yes, it's not a lesson. We are not in school, but still we have this mindset that we are even connecting words to that, because it's an energetic structure which is wired in us. So unpeeling the onion step by step. Thank you for bringing it into the space there.
Thank you.
I'm coming more from the other side. Sometimes I have the impression that I let the space happen, and that I am not providing enough possibilities. I'm just following the emotions or the impulses of the client. And I get to this conclusion because this whole hour now, about 5 times I wanted to say something, and I realized that there was so many things in the way of saying. And I realized that sometimes I also have that in coaching session, that I don't know what to say, or I don't trust this impulse what I have, or this picture I have.
You also have that when you do coaching in real life.
Yes. And that I have to, I'm stuck at the moment.
Any possibilities from the team?
I sense there is also an emotion there.
I want to ask you a question. Is it difficult for you to use the anger to stop that can be neurotical speech from the client?
Yes, that's definitively one aspect. And I don't have so many neurotic clients or neurotic speaking, but tomorrow I will have one. And thank you very much for this question. And yeah, the answer I would also give myself is yes, use more anger. And I feel sadness that I feel sadness because there is so much pressure inside of me, and I should do it better, and I should know it better, and I should go over my edge. And yeah, thank you for this clarity. I will tell you about my experience using my anger.
I have another question. Because using more anger would be pushing yourself even more. And my question is, what are you afraid of? What are you scared of? When you have this impulse and you want to interrupt, you want to say something, but you don't. What's the fear?
I feel fear of being wrong. I feel fear of disturbed process.
What could happen if you're wrong?
The session could end in a mess, and the client wouldn't get some gold or some
And specifically now here.
Can you say it once more?
And now here, because you were mentioning that you were going through this now in this session, what would happen if you would say something and you think it is wrong? What would happen with the group here?
So I feel fear of being judged. And I feel fear that some of you could judge me and what I'm saying. Thank you for the question.
Thank you. And I have the question for all of us, like, who has something like, I have to know before I speak? Katrin, have a look. It's not about your hand. We already know. It's like, have a look. It's like, this is almost everyone has it, you know? It's like, this is school. It's like, our generation was not lucky enough to have no school. This is school. Yeah.
Yeah, and I have also a question. Maybe it's similar to what Sophia said. And my question is, you said you do not trust your impulses. What is in you? What is there instead of trust? When there is no trust. Yeah.
Fearing kind of emptiness.
Catherine, have you done before an experiment with interrupting?
Yes.
How did that go?
I remember that there was a lot of playfulness and I felt safe. I also announced it. And so, it has had also something about it is a virtual situation. It is not real, or it doesn't have the taste of a real urge. I did the interrupting because of doing the interrupting, but not out of stopping someone speaking neurotically, for example.
Well, I have an experiment for you for tomorrow, and you have a client. Shift your identity into interrupter and give yourself space to catch your client when she's going into the speaking, and use your conscious anger to shift your identity into interrupter and bring her back to the space. What a question.
Mm.
And
Thank you.
I like to add something what Jenna said, Katrin.
Mm-hmm.
I saw you in the
Mariola, I want to have a do-over. We are in a training space of coaches, right? So we have a yes for proposals, feedback, coaching. It's like, this is why we're here for. So start your proposal with, I'm adding. Katrin, I'm adding the following. And then start. Like, don't, okay.
Cross the leg. I got it. Katrin, I add something what Jenna said. I saw you in the last training that we trained dragon speaking. And I saw that you was totally alive, and your words was flowing, and you was in a very good connection with your anger and with your sadness. And try tomorrow to train dragon speaking. And that behavior, what you explained, I see that not only in that room, also in 3 cells, in small groups.
Can you repeat that?
Yeah, you said that you're not allow yourself to bring it on the place to say something, to interrupt, and instead to be quiet, to be pushing back. And in the last training, I saw you also in the big group and in the small groups, in the 3 cells. So you explained that with coaching, your behavior close to coaching. I see that not only close to coaching, I see you in a lot of situations like that.
Mariola, what is your propuesta? What is your proposal? Yeah.
My proposal is bring it to an HP.
Okay.
Use that as a doorway. And yeah, and just scan in which situation do you have also that behavior.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And I have another experiment, Katrin. You already said, actually, you were fooling yourself by doing this experiment before. You say, okay, I did it, but I did it because I needed to do it. So you were doing the experiment in school mode, right? As a good student. So it was actually not working. So it was not expanding you. You were just repeating a pattern. So what about doing an experiment and doing the same thing without warning someone in person, not online? Online is not available, like only in person, and do this, like, I don't know how often you did it, this experiment, but not online, but offline, and no warning. It's like, it's not working with warning. If you say, okay, I will interrupt you the next 2 or 3 minutes 2 times, it's like, What is that? You know, it's not dangerous. You need to get really, and yeah, like you did the conscious asshole training. Become again tomorrow a conscious asshole. This is what this guy needs. If you don't stand up like that, it's like pff, he eats you. And then he missed out. He missed out. He needs you. Cool. Do you want to, like, will you do the experiment? I'm proposing.
Yes. Yes.
Will you post this experiment exactly how you will do it in the group?
In the chat, in the,
Yes.
in the Telegram group.
Mm-hmm. So maybe someone jumps on board.
I don't get that.
Yes.
So, I described before I'm doing it, I announce in the group how I will do it.
Yes.
Okay, I will do that.
Great. Deal. Nice. Super. Karen. What's going on in Karen land?
Yes, there's one question inside of me was EHP's belonging. In my thought, the EHPs are very loud and dramatically. And I myself ask if it's an EHP when it's very slow and quiet, gentle. And yes, there's an authority in the space for give another to go another way and let the client feel in another way. And for me, the question, if this is an EHP or isn't it? Because it's not so loud and not so, it's deep. I think it's deep feeling, yes, but it's another way. And before perhaps I have not so much experience with EHP, and there I want to ask, is it one or not? I don't want to say it's like a masculine and female way to go in this EHP, but perhaps it will be clear with experts.
Yeah, thank you for your question. I think this is a very common question people have in possibility management, and somehow I think Leonhard would have an answer to that. Leonhard, you have 1 minute, and then we are closing the space.
So actually, it depends on there are different ego states. Have you heard about the ego states? Karin. There are different emotions created by different ego states, and emotions that you heal in an EHP are coming from a past time where it was not allowed to feel and express those feelings. And these kind of emotions you address in an EHP. And there's also other emotions you can work with your clients in possibility coaching that come, for example, from a Kremlin ego state. And you deal completely different with these kind of emotions. Or from a parent ego state.
Okay, I think I just want to, because this makes a huge new doorway. I thought about, because it's about loud and intense and very subtle way of feeling. And I know that you are, Leonhard, you are in the feelings practitioner as well. So that's why I thought like I'm passing the ball. So there are different levels of feeling. And the thing is that when people are starting to begin to feel, is like, or like people need to already have the capacity to feel, to navigate also in low level of feelings. I think this way around is, and therefore at the beginning, very often it's loud. It's like there are some emotions, they are loud. It's like when there's a huge fear of death, it's not a subtle fear, you know, like there are different emotions and nothing is right or wrong. It's no such thing. And the feelings practitioner working a lot with the body, like the illnesses and symptoms, and it can be a very subtle way, but it can also be super loud. So it's I experienced both.
Mhm.
So there is no wrong, no right.
Thank you.
Okay, cool. Thank you. And yeah, collect your experience and share whatever if you got there will be not a key thing or like this is it. It's like we are not working like that, but you can add to the map of different feelings or qualities of feelings or the percentage, and when you are able to access and you research and bring it. Write an article about it.
Thank you.
Cool. Oh, team, 2 minutes late again. Thank you for this journey, and see you next week.
Bye.
Thank you.
Ciao.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.